My name is David Harrison Greis. Welcome to the Greis Report, your unfiltered daily voice for truth. Tonight, I want to start by introducing Adelita Grijalva to the audience that is watching right now. I mention her all the time at the end of every episode. Today, she went on MSNBC on day 39 of the government shutdown. I want you to hear what she has to say in her own words regarding what's going on. So just to give you a little bit of a primer, she is a representative-elect for Congress for one of the districts of Arizona for U.S. Congress. Mike Johnson refuses to swear her in, and it's going on like something like 6 weeks that he hasn't sworn her in. Now, the big problem with this is that if he does swear her in, they could force a vote on the release of the Epstein files. That's a pretty big deal, and that's why we feel Mike Johnson is not swearing her in. And then on top of that, I want you to listen to what she says about the court case, because the AG of Arizona has filed a court case against Mike Johnson for not swearing her in. So take a listen and watch what's going on here.
Adelita Grijalva joins us again right now. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. I'm wondering if we can start off with you giving us a little bit of an update of that lawsuit that was filed by your attorney general to force Mike Johnson's hand to swear you in 6 weeks after you won your election.
Yep, we're at 46 days and counting. I would love to talk to y'all about something else, but here we are waiting. I think that what has been decided is the judge has been assigned to the case, and then Attorney General Mays. I think we're all hoping that the House, that Speaker Johnson is going to read the tea leaves and get to work, swear me in, so we don't have to go seek judicial support in him doing his job. But that's sort of where we are. I think there's going to be perhaps a request this next week to expedite a decision, but at this point, I think we're all hoping that the House will reopen.
Well, Congresswoman, do you have any confidence, given what we've seen come out of Washington lately, that if the court comes back and says you must be sworn in, that the Speaker will actually listen to the court?
I don't. I think that he'll dig his heels. I mean, let's be real. I mean, this administration, it doesn't really matter what court decisions come down, what the rule of law is. They get to make their own decisions. That's sort of what their MO has been. And so it is very frustrating. So that's why I keep saying my hope is that we look at this CR. It's only been extended. I mean, it was only written through the 21st of November.
Right,
so at some point, we have to get to work.
I mean, at this point, y'all might as well get another CR, because through November is like tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, so now that you've heard that, I want to dig in a little bit to something that she said in specific. So she actually said that even if the judge orders Mike Johnson to swear her in, she doesn't think that he's going to do it. She kind of agrees with all of us on this idea that this administration is lawless. And I'm looking to see what developments occur, because she could be sworn in right now, government shutdown or not. So Mike Johnson, just do it already. If you like what you're hearing tonight, please remember to like, subscribe, and down here we have an email address, thegreisreport@gmail.com. Again, that's thegreisreport@gmail.com. Please send us any tips, leads, story requests, any kind of interactions you've had with the ICE Gestapo, CBP Gestapo, or any other the forces that you're coming into contact with. And if you have a district that's maybe red turning to blue, if you have people in your family that are switching sides, we'd also love to tell those stories. So please send us over those stories to that email address, thegreisreport@gmail.com. And please do subscribe and hit that bell, because it really helps us get the news out there. Next thing I want to talk about, Chicago today has been absolutely, there's no word for what's going on there. It's like a war zone, but the war zone is being set up by the Trump regime in order to bring down martial law, it appears. So I heard today through ABC7 Chicago that there was some sort of shooting incident in the one of these sections of Chicago. And this is pretty scary. It's in Little Village, Chicago, if I'm getting that correct. It's pretty scary because we don't know what actually happened. We don't have a lot of details, just that it happened. It could potentially be a false flag. We don't know what actually happened or what's really going on. But we know that they want to provoke the public. Judge Sarah Ellis has just put an injunction on all of this use of force, and they're out there using force in bulk today. It's like they ramped it up really badly. And to that effect, yesterday, there was a group of 14, they're calling themselves the 14 Suburban Moms. They are mothers from around the Chicago suburbs who protested at Broadview. They jumped over the line and they sat kind of in a circle and linked arms in front of the Broadview complex where the ICE Gestapo Armory is in Broadview, Illinois. This was a beautiful show of kind of unity with the community and the idea that we are all kind of one in this movement and that everybody is impacted. And then the other thing I want to talk about, so the two press conferences or pressers that the Trump regime gave this week that were real crap shows. So number one, you had the with the pharmaceutical executives where they were where somebody collapsed, unfortunately. But most fortunately, that person actually turned out to be okay. There was a lot of debate over whether or not RFK Jr. actually ran out of the room and whether or not Trump actually was going to be involved in that helping. But the facts are he stood by the desk. So Trump just kind of stood by the desk, just kind of ignoring everything going on or presumably not getting involved. Well, I kind of support that because Trump doesn't have any medical training at all. RFK Jr., dude walked off frame from the camera, and that's all we saw. But we saw Dr. Oz run to the guy. In fact, we saw Dr. Oz notice the collapse before the guy even collapsed. Who was a little more qualified to be in that position? Not that I'm defending either Dr. Oz or RFK Jr., but RFK Jr. has been spinning a lot of lines that undermine years of scientific progress surrounding autism. And just, I've gotten some reports today of ICE being here in New York City, and they're starting to ramp up here as well. I've gotten reports of upstate. I've gotten reports that they're ramping up operations pretty much everywhere. So even though we won on Tuesday, it seems like they're going to continue to ramp up these operations despite what they're saying. And then just to close out, Viktor Orban met with Trump this week, and this came from Fox News, and they actually posted the video themselves, where it seems like Trump and Viktor Orban were trying to trade Caroline Levin. It was pretty disturbing to watch, but it sounds like Trump is pretty experienced when it comes to trading women based upon what he was saying. Not making any accusations here, but just given my reading of what he said, it's my personal belief. So thank you for watching the Greis Report. My name is David Harrison Greis. Thank you for joining the Resistance. Have a great night.